You're tuned in to Get Right Fantasy.
Hey everybody, Adam Rank here.
What's up, friends? Daniel Dopp here from the Fantasy Focused Football Podcast over on ESPN.
It's Fabs here, Michael Fabiano from Sports Illustrated.
You know who you can trust if you've got some questions about your fantasy squad?
Want to check out a cool show on YouTube that'll help you get ready for the fantasy football season?
Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network.
Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network. If you are not subscribed, what are you waiting for? You want to lose your league?
Head on over to YouTube. Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network because they're doing everything they can to make you a better fantasy player.
You got to get right with the Get Right Fantasy Network.
You're tuned in to Get Right Fantasy.
What up? What up? What up, world? Welcome back to the Get Right Fantasy Network. I'm Mike Herrick, aka Classic Mike, and this is our Week 16 active and inactive Sunday show. Sorry about not being here last week, ladies and gentlemen. I had a good reason. For those that are not aware, my wife had our baby girl on Sunday while watching the Giants game, or while watching the Giants lose to the Commanders. And yes, it was on in the delivery room. Her name is Lainey. Mom and Lainey are doing great. So other than that, we're going to get this thing going. I'll be going over some news and notes since our Friday show, and then going over actives and actives at 11:30, as well as answering any last-second start-sit questions that you guys might have leading up to game time. So throw those questions in the chat and I will get to them shortly. Please also make sure if you guys want, use that super chat. That's always there for you guys as well. All right. First bit of news, big one. T. Higgins, a little bit. This is about a half hour ago. Jeremy Fowler said that he is good to go from a concussion. He is, the team is hopeful this weekend, but wanted to make sure he felt good this AM, and apparently he does. Tyrod Taylor is questionable with the groin and knee injury, is expected to be the backup to Brady Quinn today. Brady Cook. Sorry, Brady Quinn. Holy shit. So old I am. Justin Fields, he's not quite ready to join. Nick Chubb and Christian Kirk are both questionable and both expected to go. The only person we haven't heard about yet is Woody Marks. Woody Marks did not practice Tuesday, Thursday, and then was limited on Friday. There hasn't been a lot of news on it or mention of him. It really just has only mentioned Nick Chubb, which would kind of mean to me that Nick Chubb is going to be the starter today and get more of the run based on what we're hearing. They did elevate Jawan Jordan, so he should be available as well. So just be aware of that into game time. This is a 4:00 game, so this is one of those things where if you're having a choice between Woody Marks and somebody else, even though it's a wonderful matchup, I might want to pivot somewhere else unless you have somebody at 4:00 that you can pivot to. Just because at this point it's a very tough thing because nothing's come out yet. I have not seen one thing about Woody Marks in one way or another. They still list him as questionable. So I would really be hesitant, especially in this playoff matchups for everybody. I would want to have somebody that I know is going to play comparatively to somebody that I am unsure of. Marvin Harrison Jr., he's been out for the last few weeks with his heel injury. Right now, he is listed as questionable and is expected to play, but they will be easing him back in as per Adam Schefter. I would just be aware of that moving forward. Yes, he will get play, but when and how much is more the question. I still think Michael Wilson is the lead wide receiver for them at this moment. Well, Trey McBride too. Here's another one, another wide receiver, Drake London. He's missed the last several games with a PCL injury. He's expected to play today, so he's coming back from his PCL injury. If those remember what happened with Ricky Purcell, I mean, I know it's a different scenario and different receivers and so on and so forth, but he didn't do quite well the first couple games back. We saw what happened with Kyle Pitts last week and how well he did. He was the de facto wide receiver one, so we can only assume and hope that Kirk Cousins treats him the same. They have had a rough past of production. They haven't really done great, but they haven't really done well either. So it's one of those things where he is probably the better option. This is a little bit of a tough matchup for him going against Will Johnson, but overall, the Cardinals have been beat through the air. So I would be a little hesitant playing him, but I am not against playing him in certain scenarios. Right now, Cardinals are middle of the pack when it comes to defenses versus the wide receiver. They are, where are they at? They've given up about 2,000 yards roughly through the air, and given up about 19 points. 19 points in fantasy to the wide receiver. So I would just be cautious when it comes to Drake London. See your options and go from there. Who else we got? For those that care about IDT or IDP, Kyle Hamilton, who popped up on the injury report this week with an ankle, is more likely to play than not. But he'll be a pregame workout. So right now, nothing is set in stone for him. He's a true game time decision. So just be aware of those things. All righty. Those are all the news and notes. Everything has been pretty good leading up until now. So right now, we're just waiting to hear from actives and inactives. Like I said, we're not going to hear about Woody Marks on the show because he's not playing until 4:30 or, 4:30, 4:25. So just be aware of that. I would really try to find an alternative if need be. I think I got a question the other day about him or Estime. I would probably play Estime, and it's really a good matchup for him overall versus the Jets. Jets have been the second worst against the running back the last few, basically all season. And it's a good matchup for them. They're favored by 6.5. Yeah, the point total is a little low with 40.5 point over under. But at this point, I would trust that more than I would somebody that I have no idea what's going on, where I'm unsure. Woody is by far a better running back. Let's just be clear. But in this scape, we want to make sure we are aware of what's going on. Like we want to be sure that everything is happening and that everybody is in. So what else do we have going on? We have some really good matchups today to watch. I'm really excited to see how everything works out with some of these games. We have the Bucks and Panthers early in the matchups. Both 7-7, both trying to stay ahead in the NFC South. That should be a really good matchup to watch. 45 point over under. So really excited about that. Let me see. What other matchups do we have that are really looking good and fun to watch today? Jaguars and Broncos at 4. I think that's going to be a fun matchup as well. Currently, both are either 10-4. Well, Jags are 10-4. Broncos are 12-2. So they are both top of their particular division. Should be a good game out in Denver. Everything looks good weather-wise. There's a lot of really right now there's a lot of games that are currently in domes or out in good weather today, which is nice. Panthers game looks fine. Chiefs or the Browns look fine. Cowboys look great, because they're in a dome. Dolphins should be good weather out in Miami. So a lot of good situational football, which I like. And then, good games indoors as well. So really excited about these games coming up. Please make sure you guys throw those questions in the chat if you haven't already. If you're already set and ready to go, I get it, no problem. I wasn't expecting a ton of viewership today, just because of the fact we've had already 3 games go, and everybody is kind of either facing a big loss or or really behind or really ahead. Based on who you had. If you had Puka, you are definitely ahead. If you had Puka and Walker, let's just say you are very ahead. And people, are probably just like, I don't want to, I don't know what to do here. A lot of other people are, just starting the week. Some people didn't have anybody in the last 3 days, but that's hard to imagine just based on the players that were out there. So a lot of players are in, or a lot of managers are in a situation where they either have to have a ton of ceiling play or a ton of floor play based on who they have. So I know this week is going to be a little bit lighter than most, even next week as well, for the championship matchups and the Christmas matchups, because everyone's going to be with family and so on and so forth, which completely understand and we get. For those that are new and watching to the show, please make sure, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to our show. We really do appreciate it. We love the interaction with everybody, and we want everybody to stick around. We have great things coming in the future. Please make sure you guys are joining our Discord if you haven't already. It's in the link in the description below. So make sure you guys check out our Discord. Really great community, really great people in there. I'm in there a lot. Evan's in there a lot. Kendall's in there a lot. We always try to answer as many questions as we can to help you guys out. Look who it is. Patrick Lario. Yo, yo, yo. Big Blue. Huge week for me. 2 leagues. If I win, I'm in. Big one. And big one and had Jacobs in one and Swift in another. Fuck me. Yeah, I mean it happened to me too, man. I ended up playing Jacobs last night over like David Montgomery. I thought it was a better fit for the situation, even if he was eased in or played at a minimal. He played minimally the last week and he did very well. So I was a little disappointed in my results, of course. And the same with Swift. Swift got a good amount of play. I mean, if I didn't get the full transcript, but it looked like he was playing at least 50% of the snap. So I understand for him, it was a little bit concerning. But Jacobs, I was playing with fire. Like that one was a tough one overall. I didn't know which direction to go, and I kind of just went with the safer option, if you will. So let's get to your questions. So Marcos, what's up, man? Congrats. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was a fun Sunday, early morning. Wife went into basically her water broke at 2. We were having to, for those that don't know or don't live in New York, it was snowing. For Long Island, we get snow, but we don't get a ton of snow like upstate New York. Upstate New York tends to get a lot more than we do. Like Buffalo and all them up there, they get, they can get like 5 feet of snow, and that's normal. For us, getting 7 inches was a lot. And to be honest, we were in the middle of it at the point of going to the hospital at like 3:00 in the morning. So that was interesting, to say the least, driving in the snow, trying to get her there. But everything that worked out. Mom and baby are doing great. And, we're just adapting to newborn life. So, first child, always fun. Patrick goes, so Gainwell or Pittman and Drake or Goff. Interesting. I like these. So I mean, I always love Gainwell. I think he's been doing great as of late. It's hard to ignore Pittman as well going against the 49ers. I think that matchup's a huge game for them. They really need to do well in that matchup. Phillip Rivers was, I don't want to say underwhelming, because he actually didn't do horribly last week, considering his situation. I mean, he came into a game where he was pretty much just off the couch on 120 yards. That's the only thing that scares me. This is a good defense overall. So it does scare me a little bit with Pittman. He was only, he only had 5 targets, 3 receptions, and 26 yards. So he really, and you can tell that Rivers isn't really going downfield, which is where Michael, tends to do well. You can tell with Alec Pierce, he only had like the one catch for 16 yards comparatively. So, he can't really do what he used to do. I would feel a little safer with Gainwell. You're not going to get the same production as you did last week because, of course, this week Warren should be healthier. He definitely got a lot more run because of the illness that he had prior to the game. So you're definitely not going to be getting the same production that you got versus the Dolphins. He was, those 13 carries for 80 yards. I mean, he is that good, but it's one of those scenarios where you're not going to get that probably again. You'll probably get a little less than that, but I think it's safer than Pittman. So, and especially, well, and if it's full PPR, I think I like it a little bit more because 7 targets, 7 receptions. I was looking at the numbers the other day, and I believe if I remember correctly, and let me just double check my math here, but I think they're second to targeting the running back. Hold on, let me just. Yeah, they're second to targeting the running back behind the 49ers. So I'm gonna go Gainwell here, just because I think it's a better option for you. Uh, let's go with Drake May or Jared Goff. Man, this one's a lot tougher for me. I like Drake May a lot. I think he can do a lot of great things and has been. I mean, it's hard not to play him. And I would probably want to play him versus the Ravens. Um, Jared Goff versus the Steelers. It's at home. They're favored. This is a great matchup. All the numbers look great for both of them. I think I'm going to lean Drake May for this one. He has the safer floor. He's able to rush, which will help you a lot more than someone like Goff, who would have to rely on, Amon St. Brown and Jameis Winston and Gibbs to be able to do well. Drake May can do it, with all those things. He definitely has lesser options. His weapons are not as good. And given I understand that the Ravens haven't been great this year. They've really been underwhelming at times. Um, I would just be a little, let me see. Yeah, Ravens are, they're mid right now, versus a lot of, things. The only thing that's really helpful is Pittsburgh. It doesn't have, they currently don't have TJ Watt. So that makes things a little bit easier and a little bit more. So, I mean, I think it's a coin flip either way, but I feel a lot more comfortable with May just because of the rushing floor. And it will definitely help you. Let's see. Jags D or Pats D. Ooh, this one's tougher for me. The I want to kind of avoid the Jags game. It's a high over under. So is the Pats game as well. Both games are over 45, either 46 or 49 for both. Um, I want to avoid those games if possible. I would rather be looking for like the Saints if they're available in that. I'd rather be looking for the Browns or the Bills if those guys are available. Just because those matchups are a little bit nicer when it comes to the result that you're going to have. If you're getting one of these, it's going to be one of those like both are getting two, and it's hard for me to pick between those two. So I like the Jags just a smidge better. They just have a better pass rush, better linebacking core. But it's a tougher matchup for them. So I'm gonna lean the Jags, but I'm not like I'm not confident in that. I'm not confident in either of them. But I would try to find those other guys that I mentioned, Bills, Browns, Saints. Those are the ones that I'd be targeting a little more. Um, yeah, definitely in these matchups. This one's tougher there, Patrick. Higgins and Gainwell. I love Gainwell in the matchup that he has today overall, like I already said. I mean, right now, The Lions, they're pretty decent against the run. They're third overall against the run currently. So it's going to be a tougher matchup for them. But, like I said, they're going to involve him in the passing game a lot more. So if it's full PPR, I really like Gainwell over a guy like Higgins. Higgins is in a tough scenario coming back from injury, coming back from a concussion. He is he's a great receiver. Unfortunately, it scares me a little bit him coming back and aggravating the injury. So I would be just a little bit cautious with Higgins, even though I like them. I like the matchup overall against the Dolphins. Dolphins currently, for the last few weeks, they have been. Where are they at? They've been better than I thought they have. Where are they? Yeah, I thought they were at the bottom of the list. No, they're pretty. I think they're mid. Yeah, they're around the mid. Oh no, they're actually near the top. So I would probably go Gainwell. Just I feel a little bit better about that. So he says I can grab Browns, Miami, or Atlanta or Tennessee, but Browns playing Bills wouldn't that be bad? Sort of. That's a tougher matchup. I don't think I would go. I said the Browns just because I know that Myles Garrett is going for his sack record. They're going to do everything they can to get to Josh Allen. Josh Allen is vulnerable to getting sacked. It's just part of who he is. He scrambles in the backfield, makes as much as he can, and then makes mistakes. It happens. And it's a good defense overall. It's not like a horrible defense. Miami, I just don't trust. They're okay, but I just don't trust them. And Atlanta in that matchup versus the Cardinals, I mean, yeah, it's not horrible, but And then the Titans versus the Chiefs is actually a little interesting. So hear me out. Okay, Lions or Jets. I don't want the Lions. So hear me out. So the Titans game I like a lot. No more Patrick Mahomes. They're out Rashid Rice. They don't have an offensive line. Tennessee might not be a horrible choice. And I know like why would I ever why would you ever play a team that's like been really getting beat up on? Kansas City's favored by 3 in this matchup, and honestly, it's really because of the defense. Their defense is way better than their offense right now. Now, I have no problem playing Tennessee, but there's those little you have to understand in that matchup, they could find a way. But they have a decent pass rush. They have a decent secondary that has been doing well. They shut down a couple people in recent weeks. But there's a probability that it could go to like 30 and, be a shootout. But right now their over under is 37.5. I like those odds where the game is a lot lower. It's actually the lowest on the slate right now. I don't hate Tennessee. It's just it's a very scary option. But like I said, they're down. I think it's 4 offensive linemen total, starting offensive linemen. They're down Rashid Rice, and they're also down Mahomes. Those are huge parts of their particular offense. I don't hate that comparatively to the others. That's just my thought process. You take it as you will. I'm not gonna lie, it is a little scary though. It's scary as hell because you don't know what's gonna happen. It can either be a really great thing because they're gonna be able to get sacks, be able to get turnovers, so on and so forth, or you're gonna have like that 30 plus matchup, which is gonna be it's gonna be tough. So I like it. I would, I like taking risks with that if I can, especially with the two guys. You have 2 really good defenses. Figure out which one that you would rather have next week so that you can at least drop the one that you don't need for next week. But that would probably be the route I go. Let's go Tennessee. Frank Nunez, what's up, man? He goes, "What's cracking? Congratulations, pops. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I've been really really excited. It's been a really fun basically a week. It's been a full week. So she's a week old today, and she's a little peanut, little 5 pound, 14 ounces. So she's a little peanut. But we are getting through life, and I hope my bags aren't showing. So let's go with Frank. He goes, Goff or Burrow? You have Brown, Chase, JMO. So what stack is better? Oh man. Um, let's look at it. Steelers without. I think I have to kind of lean Goff a little bit, and it's really just because of the matchup. Really, there's no TJ Watt. They have a decent secondary. Amon St. Brown, it's at home. It's 52 point over under. I want a little bit more of that game. They're favored by 7. So yeah, they might be ahead by a ton, but it's one of those games that I think is going to be a little bit more competitive than people think it might be. Since he's only 4.5 point favorite, 48.5 point over under for this. It's not at home. It's one of those games where he's getting his pieces back. Um, I don't hate it, but I think Goff has a better line. I think Goff has a better situation where they're going to be fighting for their life. Right now both are 8-6, while the Bengals are kind of eh. And you could hear all the crap about what happened or in general with Burrow, and I know he doesn't have that in his ear, and no one really cares, but I just like Goff just a smidge better. Nino, what's going on, man? Hope everything is well. He says he needs one. All right. So Jaden Higgins, I like it. Chuba Hubbard, Algier, Estime, either Chief running back. Gross. No, I don't want any of the Chiefs running backs. So for me, I'm gonna put Algier to the side. I'm gonna put the Chiefs to the side. Chuba, I don't hate. It's a decent matchup for him against the Bucks. I like Estime, man, but I'm assuming this is full PPR, so I'm just gonna go based on full PPR standings. If it's different, please tell me. If it's half, though, I'm still leaning. I'd probably go Estime, but full, I'd probably go Jaden Higgins. It's a great matchup versus the Raiders. The point total is a little low for me. It's 38. But at the same time, they're favored by 14. So I think he's the safer play that can have a higher, production for you. Estime is just a safer floor just because he'll get volume and he'll be more involved in the offense just because, that game versus the Jets, they're favored by 6.5. They're 40 point. So both games are in horrible situations. Chuba Hubbard, I just don't, the way that they use both him and Rico Dowdle, it scares me. Estime it's gonna be him and Hall, and I don't know which one's gonna get more, but I think that Estime might do a little bit better. Higgins is also he's been doing real well as of late. If you just want to look back at, hold on, let me just pull up stats real quick. Let me just get Higgins for you real quick. I gotta find him first. No, he's definitely better than that. Where is he? Let me look for him. I hate when I can't find guys. Just makes it so much more annoying. Let's get his numbers. There he is. Oop, no, we're in the running backs, of course. Sorry, guys. This is what happens when you do things live. You got to find all the things that you need, and it's hard to find them. Let's get him. Jaden Higgins. There he is. Game log. So I understand last week was tough. 0.9, only one target. Games prior to that, he's been a little bit more involved. 5 targets, 9 targets, 4 targets. So I can get the hesitancy. Estime is in the same boat. So because first game that he's going to get a start. He's been good in the past with Denver, and he's done well in general. He's just a safe play for me. Higgins is, I guess, a little bit more of a ceiling for me at this point. it's a great matchup for him. Fantastic matchup versus the Raiders. Currently, Raiders are, where are they on my list? They are currently bottom half of the league when it comes to against the wide receiver, giving up at least 22 points per game. So I am pretty happy with that. So I like the matchup for him in this case. So, like I said, it's between Estime and Higgins. It's really more based on your scenario. If you face Puka, I'm probably playing Higgins. If you're not and you're kind of even, I'd play Estime. Just it's a safer play. Um, but that's kind of the way that I'm going to go with that. Both of those two are the ones that I'm aiming for. The other guys, I'm just not interested in today. Marcos. So he goes, I was stuck starting Jacobs or Estime. Jacobs might have lost my week. Gotta love fantasy. Hey man, I mean that's the thing that sucks. I'm in the same I played Jacobs in a few spots just because I had no choice. Well, I did have a choice, but I chose poorly. And there's not much I could do about it, but I thought he might be able to get a little bit more run than he did. And the Bears did a really good job at stopping the run in general. So yeah, it's tough. Big news: Keon Coleman is another healthy scratch. Ridiculous. Looks like it looks. Wow, he just can't get it going today. Can't get it going. Quentin Johnston, he is active. For those that care, T. Higgins is active today. Sorry, just getting actives and inactives rolling through here. Ooh, Quentin Williams is inactive today. Interesting. I like that. I love that, right? Actually, I love that versus Mario Hampton should be a good play today. Vidal should be okay. Tipton is active despite missing practice with an illness. Kamara, we already knew about. Neil Vele, they're both out today. They were both put on IR. Okay, no big deals for the Chargers. Jaden Blue is inactive today. Jalen Tolbert is inactive today. Like I said, Mecole Harmon was activated today and active. Man, Gabe Davis is inactive today. For those that care about Gabe Davis, Tyrod Taylor will be the backup for Brady Cook. Justin Fields is inactive, but a emergency quarterback if needed. Okay, a lot coming through still. Dolphins. Oh wow, Tua got the boot. He is now down to the backup quarterback, and is the emergency quarterback. Minka Fitzpatrick is inactive as well. That's kind of big news for their defense. That's a big hit to their defense. Fitzpatrick is a really strong safety. Really enjoy watching him play when he's out there. All right. And they're down a lineman too. So this is going to be a fun matchup to watch overall. Give me one sec. All right, cool. So yeah, those are all the actives and inactives for you guys. For those that need it, keep throwing those questions in the chat so I can get to you guys shortly. Just let me clear my notifications so I can get new ones and help you guys throughout the show. Marcos goes pick 3, full PPR. All right, semifinal matchup. I'll do my best. Michael Pittman, Quentin Johnston, Mbuka, Godwin, or Jordan Addison. Interesting. I think Pittman is unfortunately out of this. I was talking about him before. Phillip Rivers, 120 yards. It scares me a little bit. He hasn't been able to throw the ball downfield too much. And they are using their best weapon, which, it's Jonathan Taylor. Like right now, throw it to Jonathan Taylor. Another inactive, just so you guys know, David Njoku. I think a lot of people already knew that, but I wanted to it came through right now. And Denzel Ward. So that's a big hit to their defense. So yeah, Patrick, don't grab the Browns. Go with Tennessee. I like Tennessee today. I think your league mates are going to go. Then you're going to laugh that all the way to the bank. Mbuka Godwin or Jordan Addison. I can't trust Johnston. It's hard for me to trust Mbuka, who has unfortunately been underwhelming the last few weeks. I wish he was in a better scenario. Unfortunately, with Mike Evans coming back, he has kind of taken a little bit of a back seat. If you look at his numbers, he's still kind of consistent with the fact that he had 8 points last week, 7 targets. He's still getting anywhere between 8 and 9 targets. 8 to 7 targets per game, which is pretty good. But his counterpart over there, with Chris Godwin, he's been doing well as well since coming back. Let's get his numbers as well. He hasn't been as consistent. 8 and 5, 5 and 4, and a touchdown. I think I'm going to go Mbuka. I feel better about that scenario overall. Last time they faced each other, Mbuka, let me see. Carolina, where are they? Oh, no, this is their first time facing each other. Never mind. I thought they faced each other already. I think this is a good matchup for him. I'm going to go Mbuka. I'm picking 3 here, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm going Mbuka. I'll go Quentin Johnston. Just the matchup versus Dallas. Dallas gives up a ton of points to the wide receiver. I think it's going to be Ladd more than it's going to be him, but I rather have that. And then Jordan Addison is probably the other guy that I would go with, just because going against the Giants, it's one of those things that, it's a good match. It's going to be at home. It's a little windy out here. Just be aware of that. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to matter. I think McCarthy can do well in this particular matchup. So yeah, Johnston, Mbuka, and Jordan Addison are my choices. Nino, he goes, appreciate it as always, and best of luck in your matchups today/tomorrow. Happy holidays as well. Yes, happy holidays. Merry Christmas to everybody. We're almost there. So can't wait. Frank Nunez, for my running back 2, Harvey, Junkins, Hall, or Woody? This is a tougher one for me. I'm going to probably lean Junkins. I just like the scenario better. Browns are running the ball. The Bills are not that great against stopping the run. After losing at Oliver, man, they've really taken a hit. Buffalo is like 28th. Yeah, 28th against the run. I'm gonna go Junkins. I feel comfortable in that realm. What up, Ray? How you doing, man? So he goes, Mike, need help. Pick 2. Bucky Chase. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. It's my New York accent. I just can't. I know it's Junkins. I just can't. Junkins is just. It's like Duncan. It's just. Just how I go. He says pick 2: Bucky Chase, Brown, Travion Henderson, or Etienne Fowl. Already used Barkley. Oh wow. Okay. All right. So let's see what we can do here. I don't hate any of these guys. I really don't. I think the matchup for Etienne is going to be a little tough. I think this one's going to be a tough matchup for him. I think he's going to be one guy I'm going to sit. Travion, they've been getting a little bit more involved. It's a decent matchup against the Ravens. Ravens have been doing a little bit better. They are bottom 3rd when it comes to stopping the running back. Let's see. Dolphins are right behind them. So someone like Chase. Bucky, I think, is the one guy out of this list I am gonna play. So I'm gonna go. I think I'm definitely gonna go Bucky here for sure. Now, here's the thing. I agree. If you feel like he's the best option between the three, Chase Brown and Henderson, I don't. I'm not against it. I'm really not. You have four amazing options. It's trying to find the best matchup for you. Um, and in this particular case, Bucky is probably the best out of the four that you have. So Bucky, I'm going with regardless. Yes, he has three guys behind him that can eat into his carries. Chase doesn't have anybody behind him. Yeah, okay, smile JP, right? Okay. Henderson has somebody to eat into him. ETN has somebody to eat into him that they use. Um, I want to lean Bucky and Chase just because of the matchups and their the way that they're going to be used. If you want to look at I like with full PPR I want to know who's targeted the most. So let's take a quick look at teams that pass to their running back the most, and one of them is New England. They are They're 12th when it comes to Tootin's out. Oh, ETN done. I didn't see that. I'm sorry. My mind has been preoccupied there, Ray, and this is why I wasn't here last week. So my wife had a baby on Sunday, 2 o'clock in the morning. So, well, she didn't have it at 2 o'clock. We went into the hospital at 2 o'clock. She ended up having it at 2:27. We ended up having our baby girl Lainey at 2:27 during the Giants game, which was fun. Got to watch the Giants game during the delivery. That was even more fun. And surprised she didn't kick me out, but she was very on board and understood. So she was a trooper. Really, really uh, one of the best people I know, and she is one of the strongest. And I'm so proud of her. She did a great job. We have a great daughter. So yeah, I'm good. Oh boy. He goes, "Congrats, man. My youngest is 21, so you have good times coming." Thanks, man. I know. I'm excited for that. I'm in my 40s, so for me, it's I'm 40 as of 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So really excited to be a dad and go down that road. So yeah, ETN and Bucky, go for it. It's going to be a tough matchup versus them, but I don't hate it. Jags are a little bit they're about mid when it comes to passing to the running back currently. But I'm not against it. I think that if you think that they could do well against if Josh Jacobs does well against a beat up Denver, why not? I like it. You have, like I said, you have four great options, so I don't think you can go wrong. ETN and Bucky, I like it. Marcus goes pick 2 full PPR: Rico Dottle, Jalen Warren, and Estime. I think I'm going to go Jalen Warren and Estime. Um, I, I, I'm assuming that Jalen Warren is feeling better and in a better situation. Estime has a really good matchup. I hope they use him. My only thing the last few weeks that I've been watching, I mean, it's sad. It's really scary to watch the Saints play. Like you'll look at their stat line and like for the first quarter, it's like nothing. It's like a pass here and there. And then all of a sudden from, the second half, you're just like, "Oh my God, what happened?" Because all of a sudden they just blow up and start playing well. It's like they like figure out what their opponent's doing and then they finally, execute. Um, but yeah, I'm going Jalen Warren. I'm going Estime. I can't trust Dowdle with Chuba Hubbard in there. I'm just not a I loved Rico on his own. I am a little skeptical when it's both. So yeah, yeah. I think I'm gonna go Jalen and Estime. Ray goes also Alave or JJ Full. Gross. Gross. It has to be JJ, right? Right? It has to be. Like, I sit here and I'm like sitting here questioning myself. Olave has been much better. Much better. Like he has been. So let me do my little tinkering right here. We'll go from weeks. We'll use week 12. Let's use week 12 here. We're going to use full PPR scoring for the wide receiver. Okay? Full PPR for these guys. And Olave is currently wide receiver 15. Admirable. Just a solid wide receiver too. Where is I'm still scrolling. We're in the 40s. I'm in the 40s. Currently in the 40s. In the 40s. Still I'm in the 70s. I'm moving into the 73. Justin Jefferson for the last 3 weeks has been wide receiver 73. Do you trust that in a scenario for your playoffs? I would find a way to try to play Olave and JJ, but it's so hard for me to sit there and tell you not to play Justin Jefferson. Last 3 weeks, he's wide receiver 73. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'm just picking from, I'm cherry picking here. Let's go from weeks 11. Let's give him 4 or 5 weeks. Okay. Maybe I'm just too hard on him right now. Still, Olave is wide receiver 20. Do 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 do. Wide receiver 52, 59. Like he has not been playing well as of late. He's been given horrible QBs to be a part of it. And I know. I know. And that's where I'm looking at the matchup, I'm looking at the scenario, I'm looking at everything, and I'm like, oh, it's versus the Giants. Like, smash. Just smash that button. But Giants giving up 5th best, or no, 6th most. I have to say, go with JJ. Olave is a safer play, though. Olave is a much safer play, a much better option when it comes to, being a safer floor. If you need a boom, if you need somebody that is currently if you're currently in a situation where you played Puka, or, even if you played a couple guys and you need a couple, you need a little bit of a boost, JJ might be your best bet. But Olave is safer. Olave is a lot safer. But I get it. I'm not against you playing JJ. It's been tough telling people not to. I remember a few weeks ago, people were asking me Michael Wilson or JJ, and I went, how can you not play JJ? Like, sometimes you have to find a way. And in this case, I understand it. Go JJ, but Olave, I think, is safer. Oh, Marcos goes, should I start Jalen Warren instead of those QBs? Which QBs are you talking about? I didn't see a QB list. Let me see. Yeah, you got to tell me what QBs you mean there, big guy. Or running backs. I don't know what you mean here. Sorry, got something in my eye. It's annoying me. Yeah, tell me what you mean with this. I didn't see any quarterbacks. Pick 3, full PPR, Jalen, Jefferson, Myers, Estime. Warren, Myers. So I'm going to go Warren, Myers for sure. I'm going Justin Jefferson. And honestly, it has nothing to do with his talent. It's just his usage. His usage has been dog shit the last few weeks. I like I said, I sit here and I try to defend the guy and make him better than he is, but I mean, let's just look at since week 12. 6 targets, 4 targets, 8 targets last week. But let's look at the number for the catches. 4, 2, 2, 2. Those are the worst passing things that I've seen. That is a horrible catch rate. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I gotta find a different site that can get me that quicker. But that's a bad catch rate. That's below half. Like let's just do math here. Let's do math. Not my strongest suit for a lot of my friends if they were watching. So let's just see. For the since week 12, let's just do the math. Since week 12, we got 24. So 24 targets in the last 4 weeks. Sounds good, right? 10 catches out of 24. Not so great. Only one game above 40 yards. That's the only hang up. The problem is I don't, as much as I like Estime in the matchup that he's in, it's harder to trust some of the unknown than the known. But no, you are going to be in a tough scenario. Look at Ray. Much appreciated. Thanks. This is help with the diapers. I mean, your kiddo, not you. You never know. No, I'm kidding. No, thank you. Really appreciate you, Ray. Always love having you on the show. Always love having your questions here. You always, Big Blue. Always appreciate that. Side note for those Giants fans out there. If your wife hasn't gotten you one of these yet, and you own a Amazon, the Echo Dot, perfect Christmas gift. So yeah, ask your wife for that. My wife is amazing. Got me that for my birthday. Love it. Love it. So yeah, sorry. But yeah, thank you. Really appreciate you, Ray. Always appreciate you. So yeah, let's go back to Marcos. Jaylen Warren, I'm confident in. Myers, I'm confident in. I'm not confident between the other two. I gave you a bunch of reasons why it's not a good, not good thing to play Justin Jefferson. But Ray gave you the one good thing. He's playing the Giants. Giants have given up a ton. They're just not great. It's just they haven't been doing what they're supposed to. And I love Flott. I really do. I think Flott was one of the best choices we've made in a long time. He was, one of those contemporary picks or whatever it is. And we got him for a steal. He was supposed to be like a first or second round pick. And he fell to the complimentary picks or whatever it is. And we got him in the second round of that. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Steal. So I already told you, I think Estime is probably the safest bet because he has a higher floor than Jefferson based on the numbers I just gave you. Remember, 24 out of 10 or 24-10 ratio when it came to targets versus receptions. That's bad. That's under 50%. Not by much, but it's under 50%. And barely getting over 40 yards. In any of those games, he had 48, 4, 11, and 22. And before that, he was killing it. I have no idea what's been going on when it comes to the Vikings and how they operate. You have a stud receiver, and they are not using them in one shape, way, or form. So, if you want to take the risk with Jefferson, I completely understand it. It makes complete sense, and I have no problem with somebody doing that. Estime is just safer. They're going against the Jets, who have been struggling on defense. They're favored by 6.5. They are going to use him. They have to. There's no one else there. Neal's out. Kamara's out. They only have Evan Hall. Well, if you want to throw Taysom Hill in there as well. They're at home. They're in a dome. It's a safer environment. Giants are going to be away. It's a little windy out here. For those that care, for those that care about the weather for these games, especially for outdoor games, I tend to care when it's somebody like Jefferson with a guy like JJ McCarthy. He tends to. I've noticed a lot of. I noticed a lot of these rookies have a really really tough time playing in the weather. Like they're just not good at weather games. Let's see hourly. Let's look at the game time. Oh, 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts. I've been to MetLife. It's not that bad in the stadium. The way that the stadium is these days, it's a very tall stadium and it's very compact for the most part. There are open areas and so on and so forth. Wind does get in, but it's not that bad. Like a 20-mile-an-hour wind gust doesn't do much. That will affect it though. It will have a little bit of an effect on the ball. So just be aware of that. I've been to MetLife when it's this cold, 40 degrees. It's really feel like is 32. I've been there in the cold. I've been there this time of year. It is freezing. That ball is going to be a rock. Another reason why I don't like the matchup. I get it. I get it. I get it. I really do. I really do. I really do. I can't tell people not to play Justin Jefferson, man. But I'm going to tell you to do it. But I'm going to sit here and in my head go, you should play Estime. It's just so much safer. It's just so much safer, and I get that it's so hard not to play a guy like him. But I'm giving you so many reasons that you should see why it's not a good idea. I'm sorry. And I like him. Ray goes, I need a ceiling on everybody because this is Chop League. And I went up. Oh, yeah, you got to go. You got to go big there. Marcos goes, pick one, Aaron Rodgers, Minshew, or Geno. Or should I start Jalen Warren instead of any of those? No. I would play Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers is probably your best bet. I like Rodgers a lot. Ray goes, I'm going Jefferson there. I'm concerned about who covers Majer. Oh, Myers. I'm assuming it's going to be Patrick Surtain, but I feel a little bit better about the matchup. Like Trevor Lawrence has been playing well, and they've been finding a way to get Myers the ball. So I can't not play a guy like Jacoby Myers, and he's been pretty good the last few weeks. It's hard not to play him in these scenarios. So to give perspective, let's roll up to my list that I've been putting up, 11 through 15, which I believe is around the time he went there. Where's he at? Jacoby is... No, he can't be that low. No, he's 12th. He's wide receiver 12 in the last 4 weeks. You're playing him. Like, he's been able to find a way. You can see that he was versus Arizona, Tennessee, Indy. This is the best matchup they've had. But against the Chargers, which isn't a bad matchup for them, he had 11 points, 6 for 5, 64 yards. He didn't get the touchdown, but that's okay. He's been doing fairly well. His catch rate is better. He's a better. His Trevor Lawrence has been playing out of his mind the last few weeks. Does a game like this bring him down to earth? Probably. But I think that you are in better situation for this if you're playing him than most. Marcos goes, pick 2, full PPR, Godwin, Johnston or Mbuka. I can't tell you to play both Godwin and Mbuka. It's just not going to happen that way. Like I don't want to put all my money on one passing like offense. Like I can't do that. And Baker isn't one to go for 400 plus. If he was one to go for 400 plus any given week, like a Brissett or passes it 40 times a game, in that respect, I would then tell you to go Mbuka and Godwin. That's not the case. They have Mike Evans back. They are using him. They're utilizing him. I I, I want to go Mbuka and Johnston, and it's really just because of the matchup versus the Cowboys. Cowboys have been able to give up a lot of points. Herbert can still sling the ball, but he has no offensive line, so he doesn't have as much time behind center that he normally does. And they've been trying to establish the run, and they've been doing okay with it, but they haven't been able to do the play action that they always do really well with. So it's definitely a question, but Mbuka is safe because from the numbers that I just showed you before and how he's been playing, yes, he's been doing less than he did at the beginning of the year. Yes, clearly has been doing not that good. 9 points, 6 points, 8 points, 2 points, 10 points. But if you look at his numbers, they're not that bad. 9, 8, 8, 9, 7 when it comes to targets. Yes, he's kind of like Jefferson in the way that it's kind of gone down a little bit with his receptions. But I think that has a lot to do with the way that they are utilizing him now, and they're utilizing him more as a wide receiver too. And they're trying to get him a little bit more involved. But Baker has no time to throw, so I think that has a lot to do with it. But at least he's staying above a certain average of passing yards per game, and Mbuka's been able to overcome that. Godwin just is like a really unknown every week. So I like Mbuka. I like Johnston. Epic 8 fight. What's up, man? Welcome to the show. If you're new, please make sure you guys are liking and subscribing to the show. It really helps our algorithm to get out to everybody else so that we can, get it. We want to spread this out to many people. He goes full PPR QB with Burrow and Stroud. Okay, so I'd probably lean Stroud just because of the matchup, and I think that they can do well in this matchup. It's at home. They usually do better at home. I know that the over-under is 38, and I know that the Houston Texans are favored by 14, but it just means a bigger, higher, it's just a higher point total in their favor. So I'm okay with Stroud in that situation. I think Joe's going to have a tougher matchup. They don't have the better line. And this game, as much as it could be a shootout with 48-point over under, do I trust it with Higgins back? Maybe. I like Stroud. He's safer. But if you need a boom play because of facing Puka, I might go Burrow. Wide receiver 2 and flex with Wilson, Pittman, Evans, DK, and Sutton. Ooh, I love all those options. All right, know that Wilson's going to probably be against Terrell. Terrell is one of the better safeties in the league, or corners, sorry, in the league. Evans is going to be going against J.C. Horn, who is another really good matchup for him. DK is probably going to be the better option. They've been getting him a little bit more involved as of late, which is nice to see for him. DK, I have not been high on DK, but he's wide receiver 14 the last few weeks. He is the problem with him is the volatility of what he is. He's since week 10, 7, 8, 8, 5, 2, 12, 3 in targets, but yet he is catching most of those passes. He is getting, in the range of against Baltimore, he went nuclear. This is a good matchup for him versus Detroit, who's struggling on offense, or struggling on defense. I mean, I think DK is probably a good wide receiver for you in one way or another. Wilson might be a better option. I think Pittman for me is out of it. Sutton's the only other guy that I really like today against the Jags. He's been a little bit more involved lately. He's wide receiver 16 in the last 4 weeks. 10 receptions the last few weeks. They're finally getting, putting him into the lead role. Jacksonville can be a tough matchup. They just have a really good pass pass rush, which makes it a little bit difficult for wide receivers to get open faster. He is more of a possession guy and can be a deep ball guy, and that might be a little bit tough for this matchup. But I don't hate Sutton at all. I think that I would lean DK and Michael Wilson, but it's hard not to play a guy like Evans either, because when you see those numbers when he comes back are just insane. What was the numbers off the top of my head? Let me get back to it. Oh, I thought he was higher. He was wide receiver 11. I thought he was higher. Coming back from an injury, getting 12-8 or 12-6 with 132 yards. So I get it. Wilson's just been more consistent with most of the play that he's had the last few weeks. He does much better, as we all know, when Marvin Harrison Jr. is not there, but Marvin Harrison Jr. will be there and he's going to be eased back in. But the numbers that you keep seeing, I mean, 18, 15, 7, 16, and 11, on top of the fact that he's catching at a decent rate, hard not to see those numbers. So I think DK and Wilson are your safest bet. I think I'm going to go Wilson and DK. Ray goes, prior to last night, would you have gone Hurts or May? I never like Hurts. It would probably be May. I'm not a big Jalen Hurts fan at baseline. I can't get on board with Jalen Hurts as a QB, so it's hard for me to like him, even though his rushing floor is steady. I just never really liked the guy, but it was a great matchup for him, to say the least. So I probably would have leaned him just because of that, but I think this matchup is fine. May has been, I think his lowest game is 15 versus the Jets. Baltimore is a middle of the road matchup, and in those middle of the road matchups, he still puts up 20. His legs have been has been the main feature of why. But he hasn't been rushing for 60 plus yards lately. Baltimore, I think, tends to play a little bit more zone than man to man, and even when they do play man to man, he'll be able to crush it. I would have probably played May. I just feel more comfortable in those waters, and he's just been so hard not to play. He's currently 5 compared to Hurts. That's 4. I like him better. I like the team that is behind him and what they've been doing. So I've just been more of a May fan. Ray goes, for that Olave JJ question, I could also get Pickens or London. Ugh, gross. Pickens is underwhelmed the last few weeks. I think teams have kind of started to really get on that. I think the Chargers defense is pretty good against wide receivers. Let me check my math here. Yeah, Chargers are number 1 against wide receivers this year. I'm not going to go down that road. Arizona is middle of the road versus wide receivers, and he's going to have Will Johnson on him, so it's hard for me to tell you either one of those. Some situations you have no choice, but in this one you do. I just think Olave is a safer play. I think he's the safest play out of these. It's just a good matchup for them. They're both, lower tier teams. They're both going to play up to their how bad they are. The only thing I don't like is I don't like how Tyler Shuck is a run when he's scared type QB. It limits the amount that he puts out, and it limits his ability to really help your the wide receivers that he has. I mean, his games alone, he hasn't really he's had the last 2 games, the highest was 32 attempts and only a few completions, which isn't good. but he threw for over 279, 70 some yards. But he's been using his feet a lot, which keeps his numbers higher. He's only had one touchdown in 2 weeks, 3 touchdowns in 3 weeks. So it's a little nerve wracking to watch him play. But at the end of the day, like I said, you either get really good JJ or you get really bad JJ. And I'm talking about both QB and wide receiver. So I don't know. And then if you think that Kirk Cousins is going to treat London like Pitts, I don't know. I've seen both worlds, and I don't know if that's going to be the case. But do I like London over Olave? Coming back from the PCL, no. I want the guys that are healthy. So London kind of takes a back seat to the group that you have. I just, like I said, I gave you all the reasons why I don't like JJ. The only good reason is he's facing the Giants. That's it. Everything else is against him. All his numbers are for the last 4 weeks. All of the fact that he is, JJ McCarthy is just not the QB that, people want him to be. And on top of all of that, it's just a bad weather game for him. It's going to be cold. It's going to be windy. It's going to be gross. Rookies don't understand how to play in that atmosphere. They're still getting used to it. They're a dome team. They're not used to being outdoors. At least Olave's indoors. He's facing the Jets. He's facing a decent matchup for him to do well in. Pickens, I don't hate, but it's going against a tougher matchup, going indoors versus the Chargers, who are very good and a good defense overall. London coming back from the injury, we don't know what's going to happen with that. So that's why I like Olave a lot more. I feel a lot more confident with Olave just because of his floor. I'd rather have the safer floor with, for full PPR being at 12 to 14 points comparatively to guys like JJ, who are going to barely get you 4, and Pickens, who could go nuclear. He's been known to do well when teams just focus their attention on CeeDee Lamb. They don't focus on him. But in a Chargers matchup that has a good pass rush that can do well at stopping wide receivers on the outside, you're going to have a tougher time with Pickens. London coming back from the injury, I don't like it. I just don't. I have to play him in some scenarios, but I don't like it. So that's the only reason why I'm going that way. Dr. Clutch, what's up, bro? Great to see you. Haven't seen you in a minute. Glad to have you back. He goes, getting kind of cooked right now. Estimate or Dottle? Half. Estimate. It's just, as Estimate isn't a good scenario. Dottle is just, sharing the load with Hall. So I feel a lot more comfortable with Estimate overall. Tampa Bay is actually pretty decent overall against the run. They're bottom third. They haven't been doing great against the run, but Vita Vea can shut them down. Actually, both teams suck against the run. So this is going to be a interesting matchup. Probably just a lot of running. But at the end of the day, I like Estimate. It's a good matchup versus the Jets, second worst against the run. Full, half PPR, like it even better. So Ray goes, matchups and injuries, I understand. Effort, I cannot abide. Yeah, hey, man. I've given you every bit of info I can with it. Like I said, I think Jefferson is the best talent out of all of these. If you had to, if today you were giving me the same quarterback playing with all of them, who I pick, it's Justin Jefferson. But if you're giving me all these different variables involved, I'm not picking him. So Doctor goes, I also have Travion and Javonte in that league, starting them both. Yeah, I'm still going to go Estimate, though. And it's smart. Play those two for sure. But it's going to be a tougher matchup for Javonte for sure. He's struggling with the shoulder injury, too. So just be aware of that. I mean, he's going to play, and he's a tough dude. He's going to do what he can to be out there. And Cowboys are already eliminated. So for those Giants fans, it's kind of like, yay. But, Travion's great pick. So you're going to do just fine. Estimate, I think, is the better option. Good matchup. Good scenario. Dottle, sharing backfield. I'd rather go with the guy that I know that's not going to have that scenario. So All right, ladies and gentlemen, throw those questions in the chat if you haven't already. I'm staying here as long as you guys want me here, but I am going to wrap things up shortly just so that I can go spend time with my little baby girl and my wife. So please get those questions in so I can get to them. Please make sure if you haven't already, check out Underdog Fantasy. If you haven't already, please use promo code GETRIGHT. We're at that time of year where the pick'em games are in there. They're going to do some playoff stuff coming up in the next few weeks. So check out Underdog Fantasy using promo code GETRIGHT. Also, right now, win up to 5,000 times your money. Pay 5, get 75. That's their new promo using promo code GETRIGHT. So make sure you guys are using promo code GETRIGHT. See, same thing. Awesome. Awesome. Ray goes, my son is using Brissett, Wilson, and McBride, and I am petrified. Oh, you're facing your son, and he's using all three? Ooh, that's a tough one right there. Brissett throwing for 40, 50 times a game. Oof. I ended up picking Brissett up in one league. I don't know if I played him or not. I gotta check. This is one of those scenarios where I set all my lineups and then I'm like, I forget about it, and then I forget if I actually played the guy or not. Hold on. And this is a league I don't really care about, but I'm in first, so I have to somewhat care. Yeah, I'm playing Brissett in that league. I had a choice between Brissett and Herbert, and both are really good options, I think. But I was looking at it. I was looking at both of the numbers, and consistently for someone like Brissett, the last few weeks, it's been insane. It's so weird that if I'm looking at the numbers for him, and like I'm just looking at their seasonal numbers, he's quarterback 19 on the year currently, which blows my mind that he is even close to that. But if you customize the week and make it like I put it at like week 4 to now. So week 4 to now, so week 15. If you look at the numbers, he's like, what is he? Oh no, not week 4. It was like, what week did he come in? Like week 6? Yeah, week 6. There we go. But if you put in week 6, he is currently quarterback 3. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. This guy's been having a year. And he hasn't had a game. He's only had one game that was 18 points versus Jacksonville. So I would be scared too. Oh man. That's gonna be fun. I can't wait till my daughter's older and I can face her. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be a really interesting situation. I'm gonna teach her all about it. I told her as I was watching the games yesterday that I was gonna teach her that. Hopefully that's stuck in, Anyway. All right. Throw those questions in chat. Also, make sure you guys are checking out our affiliate podcast as well. Please support good old Phil Ruskin over at the Extra Point. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing to his show, as well as the Fantasy Football Tavern over with Kendall, as well as please make sure you guys are checking out Evan Sather as well on Barely Fantasy on his YouTube channel. All the links are below in the description. I have everyone listed down there with where you can find them. So please make sure you guys check them out as well. Ray goes, I helped him all year too. It's chopped, so it's different. Okay. Well, good luck in that league, man. At least you got this far. Warrior go. What's up, man? He goes, Warrior Loft goes, Josh Jacobs didn't do much for me yesterday. For high upside ceiling play, Mike Wilson, Harrison Jr., Jetta, or Pickens. Oh, you just missed my whole rant on JJ. I'm not going to go through it again. But I will say I'm not picking JJ here. It's probably going to be Michael Wilson. I feel a lot better about it. He's the better ceiling play out of all these guys. I think the matchup alone, the fact that Brissett is throwing the ball 40 times a game, getting it out there, and giving wide receivers an opportunity to get the ball. I'd rather have that. Now, this one's the same thing. For high upside ceiling play, I like Brissett, man. I like him today in general. Burrow's in a good matchup as well. I can't not say that to you. But I like Brissett. I think he's safer. He throws the ball a little bit more. Going against Miami has given up bottom half to the QB. So I get it. I get the matchup. I get he gets T. Higgins back. I get all of this. I like the matchup just a little bit better for the over-under, but they're both pretty much the same, 48-48. I'm going Brissett. I'm definitely going Brissett. I feel a lot better about him. He's more consistent, like I just said. Now, I can't compare him to Burrow when it comes to, the last 9 weeks. But in the last 9 weeks, Brissett has been doing better than expected. And he's been consistent. He hasn't had a game under 18, which that could change. But I like his scenario. Joe Burrow is Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is an elite quarterback. You can't not look at his numbers and not go, oh, I don't want to play Joe Burrow. Like, Joe Burrow is Joe Burrow. He is a solid QB. I'm just a little nervous about him today. I'm trying to find his numbers. Where is he? See, he's hiding on all my depth charts. Man. He's hiding because he's just not there. Where is he? There he is. I mean, last week, QB 30, QB 3 when he came back, QB 11 before that. He's a solid and elite quarterback. It's just hard to trust. Good matchup versus Miami. So it's, Brissett is playing for a contract. Bro is playing to not get hurt. Yeah, that was the other thing that I was thinking of at the same time. Like, they've talked about like his current situation, and they were like, "Oh, well, Miami had an opportunity. They offered a first-round pick for him." Yeah, they're trying to do storylines to distract, but Brissett has been playing well. He's just been doing really well. I don't want to get out of the flame. I like it. I like him. I like him. Both games are reasonable. Since he's favored by 4.5, Atlanta's favored by 4 or by 3. Right now, the over-unders are the same. So, when the over-unders are the same for me, it's fine. It shows that the Bengals are going to do better, which means he should do well against Miami. Their line isn't that great, but with the Cardinals, they've been doing really well, and they've been fighting, and they've been keeping up with teams in the last few weeks. And even if they're not, he's still throwing it 40 plus times a game. Joe has been throwing it 40 plus as well. Like, he's got 39, 36, 46 the last 3 weeks. He had a rough game last week versus Baltimore, which is not his normal forte. He usually does pretty well against Baltimore. So it was a little concerning that he didn't do well. But in this matchup, could he do well? Yeah, of course. He could do well. But I like Brissett. He's just a little bit more consistent. I know everyone's going to have Burrow ranked higher, and that makes complete sense. I would rank him higher too. I just like what Brissett's been doing as of late. He also gets back Marvin Harrison Jr., who isn't that, like, he's good. So their offense is just easy to stop. You can just double cover McBride 90% of the time. They still make it work. You can double cover Michael Wilson. They still make it work. But with the Bengals, there's so many options. They have so many weapons on the outside. They have so many, with Chase and all those things. It's going to be a good matchup for them. I'm going to tell you that I like Brissett. I'm going to tell you to play him. If you're in a really good situation, like if you're high upside play that you need, like it's going to be Burrow. Like, I can talk myself into playing Brissett 100 times, but I think it's going to be Burrow. It's a better matchup for sure. Just, I think that Chase can eat apart that secondary. So I'm gonna go Burrow here. Love Brissett. I'm just talking him up a little bit. I'm gonna go Burrow. So Warrior, hopefully you heard the second half of that. I know I talked up Brissett a ton. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go Burrow here, even though it's tough. He's playing not to get hurt, like you said. So kind of talked myself into Burrow. Anyway, long-winded conversation. Story of my life. All right, boys and girls, I'm gonna wrap this thing up. I want to go see my little baby girl. I miss her. I will see everybody next week on Friday. We will have Frank here tomorrow for your waiver picks and things like that. We're probably not going to be here Wednesday. It's just, Christmas. It's going to be Christmas, so we're probably not going to be here Wednesday. We're more than likely going to be here Friday. I have to talk to Kendall. I will do my best to be here. And then we should be back next Sunday as well, as long as everything goes the way I plan it. But otherwise, good luck to everybody. I hope everyone has a wonderful week 16. I hope everybody does well this week. We got all the guys in the chat, Warrior, Marcos. Really appreciate everybody. There you go. Later, man. I'll check in whether I win or lose. Yeah, let us know. We always love you guys. Ray, thank you again for the super chat. Really appreciate everybody in the chat as well. Ray, Dr. Clutch, Marcos, Nino, Frank. Really appreciate everybody. Patrick, as always, love Patrick. Always appreciate you being here. So hope to see everybody next week. We will see you guys, like I said, Monday and Friday. Hope everybody has a Merry Christmas. If I don't see you, hope everyone enjoys their time with their family and gets to see everybody. And I hope everyone has a wonderful week 16, unless you're facing me. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.